Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Stroh Center for camera setup. I'm John.
And I'm Sal, and we're at the cage where we store all of our camera equipment.
We're going to show you where it's all at and how to get it set up. Come on. All right. So we're here in the cage, and this is where we keep all of our gear. As you can see, it's nice and organized. Organization is key to making these productions run smoothly. Now, before we head upstairs, we're going to grab 4 bags to make a whole kit of setting up this camera. And as you can see, they're all color-coded.
In each kit should correspond with one color. So in this case, we're going to set up our green camera, which is our camera 2. And we're going to get all the stuff, all the items with the green tags, and we're going to head upstairs and show you how to set it up.
All right, so we've brought all the camera equipment upstairs at the Stroh Center. We've already set up our high-tight camera as an example. Sal, why don't you show them through what we set up earlier?
What we already got going on here is we got the sled up on the tripod. We got both of the tripod arms on, which hold our zoom and our focus controls. And then we got the monitor up top, and we're gonna run you through how to get all that up there.
So yeah, we're going to take you step by step on setting up our wide camera, which is camera 1. So here we've got our green tripod set up. This is going to be camera 1, and as you can see, we have it lined up here with this line. This ensures that we're dead center and that we're lined up with center court. This is a must for this camera. Now after you've lined it up, I like to I adjust the height to my liking. First thing is I do the bottom legs first, and then I adjust these top legs. If you set it too high, you're going to be craning your neck. That's no good. You're going to be hurting by the end of the game. So I usually go about halfway up with it. Sal, could you get that for me, please? Thank you. So you go ahead and tighten those to your designated height, reline it up, and then I like to do a pre-balance. This one's a little off. So to balance the tripod, the first thing we're going to do is loosen this knob. That allows the head to move around. So we're going to get it loose and line this bubble up just right and tighten. Make sure it's real tight. And we'll check this at the end after we have everything installed. Once you've adjusted the height of the tripod to your liking, we're going to put the arms on. It's essential to do this before you put the sled on, and here's a little clip why.
So you should always put the arms on before this sled, because if you notice, when you're tightening the actual arm, the lock starts to grind up against the sled and it gives it a lot of wear and tear, so it's probably easier just to do it beforehand.
These just screw in very simply, and you need to make sure that you line up these teeth here.
So it's imperative that you have your zoom control on your right-hand side and your focus control on the left-hand side, because their cables correspond to the right and left side, so you need to make sure those are always in the same spot.
Once you have your arms placed and all the knobs are tightened, we move on to the sled.
So John's got the sled here, and as you can see on the bottom is this plate. Now this is the plate to the tripod, and before you put this on the tripod, you need to make sure this is really tight. So it's just like anything else that goes on a tripod. So you take the plate and you line it up on this track, you push it forward until you hear that click. That means it's on the track. Go over here and you lock it in.
Now to get the camera on, I typically like to stand on the left-hand side so I can get a better view of it. It doesn't go straight in. You need to put it at an angle like so, slide it onto this track that's sitting on the sled. You bring the camera back a little bit so that it's all lined up, push it forward until you hear that click. When dismantling at the end, we're going to use this red knob here. It's a push and pull, and then that'll release the camera.
Once we got the camera secured inside the sled, we can fold this gate back up. And as you'll notice, these 2 little screws on the outside, we want to screw those in a little bit, line them up, get them kind of finger tight, and then you can go in and finish it off with a key, a Leatherman, screwdriver, or a coin that you may have. So now that we have the camera inside the sled and it's on there and it's secure, we can go ahead and go back to our tripod arms and our focus control and our zoom control. And with the focus control, you put it in this little port right here, and you go ahead and turn this wheel, and as you turn it, it should just slide right in. And then you take this little washer and screw it up to secure it, but you want to have a really easy touch about it. And once that's in, you're good to go.
Give it a little twist, make sure it's good. And as you can see,
The wheel,
it's turning nice and smooth.
yep, the focus wheel's turning. This is working. Good to go.
Now that Sal has connected the focus control, I'm going to go ahead and connect the zoom control. Now as you can see, there's these little pins in this cable. Our yellow and red kits are a little different. They just plug directly in. This one has a screw to it, so we're going to plug it in and then screw. So if you watch, you don't force anything. You wait till it fits in, push up, and then you finish it off with the screw. Like so. And as I mentioned before, the other two cameras, they're more of just a plug without a screw. You don't want to screw in the ones that just plug. You'll ruin those fibers. Once we've got those all connected, it's time to put the monitor on.
Now the monitor just sits on top of the sled right here on this little track. It slides in from the front and goes backwards.
There's a little lock on here. Make sure you lock that down nice and tight. Monitor's in place. And now we have this plug that goes over on the right side of the camera like so.
Line up the pins on the inside and it should just fit right in. Effortless.
So now that we've got the monitor on, it's time to attach the fiber cable. Now this cable has a little red line like so, and that connects to the red dot. Very self-explanatory. Go until you hear the click, and we're going to run this cable underneath the tripod here, going behind the leg. This ensures that your cables are all out of your way and they're tucked nicely underneath the tripod. Sal's going to go ahead and run this cable to our cable box, and we're going to plug in. While Sal's running that cable, I'm going to go ahead and connect the headset, which plugs in right to here. The headset comes in the camera bag, and it should have this adapter on it. If it's not attached, line up the pins, attach it. This plugs in right here, like so. With all the other cables, don't force it until it's lined up properly, and it should click.
So when we're setting up the fiber cables, you want to run them behind the tripod like he said. And they come up into this box. And as you can see, our first camera that you saw is already plugged into north 2. So this one is going to go into north 1. And you just pop it in. You line it up with the line and the red circle right here. And it clicks into place just like that. Removing the fiber cable can be a bit tricky. Best way to do it is find these rubber creases, pinch it at the end, and then just pull. And another thing that'll help is keeping your cables coiled, because it'll save you work at the very end of the production. You close this, and then you're done.
And there you have it. It's as simple as that, just a few connections, a few little balancing things, and like I said before, we are going to rebalance. Well, actually, we don't even need to because it's already balanced, but make sure you check that, because if it's not balanced, you're going to get yelled at.
Thanks for tuning in today, learning how to set up camera for sports. I'm Sal.
I'm John, and we'll see you on game day.
See you there.